Liam was 32, Emily 30. They had been married for a decade, a stretch of time that felt both fleeting and full. Together, they had built a life and filled it with laughter, routine, love, and 2 children. Their son, Narini, and a younger daughter whose giggles used to echo through the halls of their quiet suburban home. They weren't wealthy, but they had enough to give their kids a good life. Private schooling, weekend activities, all the little luxuries that spoke of love and intention. Liam bore the heavier burden of their finances, working long hours to ensure stability. Emily worked too, but her earnings went mostly toward her personal wants, salon visits, shopping, the occasional getaway with friends. It was an unspoken arrangement, and Liam didn't mind. He never asked for much. He was more than just a provider. He was present. He helped around the house, cooked when needed, showed up for parent-teacher meetings, soccer games, late-night fevers, and dance recitals. When Emily wanted a night out, he made the reservation. When she wanted silence, he gave her space. Her friends often gushed about how lucky she was. Even her mother, sharp and discerning, warned her not to take Liam for granted. And for a long while, Emily didn't. She knew she had something rare. She basked in the comfort of being loved without conditions. But then Liam's company took a hit. A merger gone wrong, layoffs looming. Suddenly, the stability they depended on began to waver. For the first time, Liam looked uncertain, unsure of how to steer the ship. Emily didn't complain. Instead, she quietly brushed off her old resume and began job hunting, determined to help shoulder the weight. She told Liam not to worry, reminded him that everyone hits rough patches, and that this, too, would pass. Her support wasn't loud or showy, but was there, in every reassuring glance, every late-night conversation, every effort she made to be his anchor. Liam saw it all. On the morning of her first big interview, he surprised her by waking early, making breakfast, and brewing her coffee. Things she usually did for him. He kissed her forehead as she reached for her coat. "Even if they don't pick you, it doesn't mean you're not worthy," he whispered. His words didn't fully chase away her nerves, but they wrapped around her like armor. It's powerful, knowing someone believes in you without hesitation. That evening, she came home glowing, a bottle of champagne in hand. "What are we celebrating?" Liam asked, and she laughed, letting the joy spill from her eyes. He pulled her into a tight embrace, whispering how proud he was, how he never doubted her. A year passed. Her job thrived. His business rebounded. Life, once again, found a rhythm. Liam returned his role as a provider, and Emily slipped back into the comfort of her independence. But something began to shift. Liam noticed the late nights first, the vague excuses, the sudden brand-name bags and clothing that didn't fit their budget. When he asked, she smiled and brushed it off. Sales, a friend's discount, little lies wrapped in ribbons. He didn't press. Maybe he didn't want to believe what his instincts whispered. One weekend, with the kids away at their grandmother's, Liam suggested they spend time apart, just for the evening. He wanted to catch up with his friends. "You should go out too," he offered, trying to make it sound light. Emily shook her head. "I'd rather stay home." Her voice was even, her expression unreadable. Liam left anyway, tried to ignore the knot tightening in his gut. That night, his friend Georgie dragged him to a club, promising music and memories. Liam wasn't the clubbing type anymore. He barely remembered how to navigate that world of lights and sound. But he went. The music pulsed through him, the air thick with energy and sweat. For a few brief moments he laughed, letting go. Then he saw her. Through the crowd and haze, Emily's familiar silhouette flickered under the strobe lights. His heart jumped, then sank. She wasn't alone. A man stood close, too close, his hand sliding down the curve of her back in a way no friend ever would. The intimacy between them was unmistakable. Liam's blood turned to ice. He didn't think, he moved. Pushing through the crowd, ignoring the shouts and glares, he reached her. Without a word, he flung his drink into her face. The music kept playing, but the moment fractured. Emily stood frozen, soaked, stunned. The man beside her stepped forward, but Liam snarled, "Don't touch me." Emily raised her hand to stop him. "I've got this," she said quietly, dismissing the man. Liam dragged her outside into the thick summer air, though the chill of betrayal made it feel like winter. Her blouse clung to her skin, soaked and cold, and for a moment she looked small, like someone who'd been caught in the middle of something she no longer controlled. Liam's voice trembled, a single word escaping. "Why?" She didn't meet his gaze. "I met someone at work," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "It just happened. I didn't mean for it to go this far." "And now?" he asked, his words edged with disbelief. "I want to be with him," she said. "I wanted to leave, but I couldn't say it. I was afraid." Liam stood there, the world spinning too fast around him. The clothes, the lies, the late nights, they were all for another man. His jaw tightened, not from anger alone, but from the heartbreak that clung to his bones. He didn't think about himself in that moment. His mind was already on the children. How would they understand this? How would he explain? Emily was the one who told them. Their daughter cried, clinging to her mother, begging not to be separated. Irene, quiet and steady, chose to stay with his father. No words, just resolve. It shattered Liam, but he didn't stop them. He let them choose. Emily moved in with her lover, Castia, taking their daughter. But fairy tales built on betrayal rarely last. The little girl came back soon after, her eyes swollen from crying, her voice quiet with confusion and pain. Castia didn't want her. He made that brutally clear. And Emily, too wrapped up in her own need for validation, let her go. She chose him over her child. The guilt came too late. Castia unraveled, the charm wearing off. He drank more, fought more. The romance Emily had risked everything for crumbled into chaos. Eventually, she left him too and came back, not to Liam, but to the fragments of what she'd abandoned. She wanted her children, but they no longer wanted her. Liam watched it all unfold with a heavy heart. He didn't poison their minds against her. He didn't have to. They remembered on their own. The daughter who once cried to stay with her mother now refused to even speak her name. The son who had stayed quietly by his father's side became his strength. For a long time, Liam didn't think he would love again. He poured himself into his children, becoming their everything. The days were long, the nights longer. Loneliness crept in like a shadow, constant and cold. Then, quietly, someone new entered his life. She wasn't flashy or bold. She was kind. She listened. She asked about his day and laughed at his dry jokes. She didn't carry the weight of betrayal or the ghosts of broken promises. And for the first time in years, Liam didn't feel haunted. He felt whole. He didn't believe in second chances before her. But love, he realized, sometimes arrives when you least expect it. Quiet, patient, and ready to heal.